It's a blessing to welcome on the newest member in the first commit 2022 UConn class, Corey Floyd. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. How are you?
Pretty good. Well, you just announced it, man. You're going to UConn. Take us this decision and how's it feel?
Um, it's a great feeling. It's a great program, and I'm just excited to be a part of it and ready to get things going.
This has been a long journey and you're pretty young still. You still haven't even played your junior year yet, but this is the time you decide that you want to commit now. Coach Hurley won you over. Why UConn? Why are they the one that won you over?
Um, they were actually my second offer ever. At the time, I wasn't, big on them, but as time went on, they just built a real great connection with me and my family as well. Always in contact, and it was more than just basketball that we would talk about. So that really stood out to me. Of course, Coach Hurley is a great coach. Jersey ties there, tied back to my dad, and it was just an overall great program, and I think it was just the best decision for me and best fit overall.
I want to back us up a little bit because you originally dropped to top seven. You jump it up to top eight, then take us to those schools and why are those the eight schools that really are with you to the end?
Well, those schools stood out mainly because they were the schools who prioritized me the most. You have to go to a program that wants you there, not just a program that you want to go to. And I was getting that feeling from a lot of those schools. And as time went on, it's just more schools showed more interest than others, so that made my decision a lot easier for me. And it came down to the wire, but in the end, it was UConn that I ultimately went with.
You put out a tweet December 28th saying you're committing January 14th, which is your birthday.
Right.
Why was that the date? Did you feel comfortable? Did you know you're going to UConn at that point? Or you kind of felt comfortable that you knew you were going to get the decision by that date?
When I announced it, I wasn't exactly sure where I was committing yet, but my grandmother had recently passed that December on the 14th,
Mhm.
and I just wanted to do something for her because she was a big supporter in my life, always giving me the motivation and confidence I needed. So I just wanted to do something to honor her, and I felt like this would be the perfect thing. So that's another reason, one of the main reasons why I decided to do it on my birthday.
When something like that happens, obviously the challenging time, and you know that you're going to get back on the court eventually. How do you plan to be able to represent her and kind of play for her on the court?
Right. Well, you know, as I said, she passed on the 14th. My birthday is on the 14th, and her birthday was 14 days after mine. So usually, all my life I wore the number 23, but this year for high school, I'll wear the number 14, and I'll continue to do that for the rest of my life. And I think that's just a great way to honor her, and I'm going to go out there and try to make her proud every time.
Absolutely, man. Well, you're coming down to these final days. When did you find out that UConn was where you're going to go?
Um, I'd say about not too long after I announced that I would be committing on my birthday. That's when I really, started to break it down and get in contact more with the schools. And, after most of them knew that I picked that date, that's when certain schools started coming harder at me. And, UConn was just the one that emphasized the best fit and just overall coaching staff. They made me feel like family, and I'm not even there yet. So
Mhm.
that was one of the big things for me, how much they could make me love the program without even actually being able to get on campus there.
This might not be your case, but I know for a lot of guys, you come down in the final week or so, and there's a few schools that stand out to you. You have your top group, but sometimes inside your family, maybe narrow it down to two, three, four. Was that your case that you kind of narrowed down to a couple of different schools in the very end?
Yeah, in the end it was down to UConn, Villanova, and Providence.
Mhm.
um, Providence coach Cooley, he's a great coach and great person overall. He just made me feel loved and really like family guy, and I appreciate everything he did for me. And with Villanova, Coach Nardi was the main one recruiting me. I got to get on a Zoom with their whole staff, and they have a great coaching staff and obviously a great program over there as well. And I just appreciate them recruiting me as well.
You do get to stay pretty close to home, staying East Coast. What's that going to be like? Just being closer to your family, having them be able to come watch you play. What would that be like?
It's going to be exciting. Um, I'm thrilled for it. It's not too far from home, so
Mhm.
a lot of family and friends can get out there, which is something that's big for me. I always want my family to be able to see me, and also televised games. So my family that's not so close, they could watch me as well, and it's just gonna all be fun, and I'm gonna take it all in.
What was the moment it clicked for UConn? Was there something where you just woke up one morning, that's where you want? Was it after a meeting or Zoom call with them? What was that moment that actually clicked when you knew that's where you're going to head?
I think it was just something that kind of happened over time.
Hmm.
Like thinking about which program would best fit me, which program I could make an impact on from day one, and ultimately just become the best player I could possibly be. And that came down to UConn, and their coaching staff over there, great developers, and it just all clicked, and it was a right decision.
Who was the first person you called or told that UConn's were going to be heading?
Um, Actually, my family from California, I'm real close with them out there, but they live in Cali, so we don't get to see them as much. But they came down here for Christmas, and by that time, I was just I had it in my head, so we went ahead and we told them, and then we got on a Zoom with UConn, and my whole family was there, so it was all just a great experience, and I was happy that they were here to be here with me.
Set up that Zoom call. Did you tell Coach Hurley that you have a special announcement for him? Or was it just kind of a typical thing that they were kind of anticipating, just kind of recruiting you? Was that just another one of those calls, or what exactly? How did that all get set up?
Yeah, actually told Coach Kimani Young
Hmm.
that I wanted to get on the Zoom, and when they first came on the Zoom, they were just pitching their ideas again like usual. They were about to get into all their plays and everything again, and then I told them I had an announcement to make, and I had all my family with me, so I introduced all of them, and after I made the announcement, Coach Young and Coach Hurley like jumped up and ran out the screen. So, it was all just exciting, and it was just a happy moment.
This has been a long journey, and you still have some time to get out there. You got the rest of the season, and then all next year. So you got roughly a year and a half. So what do you want to improve on and work on before you get out there?
One of the things is just being more of a leader, vocally on the court. Usually I just let my game do the talking, and it's been able to fly the past 2 years at Roselle Catholic because I played with a lot of great upperclassmen. But this year, we have a pretty young team, younger than usual, so I have to step into that leadership role, and I'm just ready for it. I'm ready to lead the team, and just ready to become that main leader and show what I can do.
A lot of people look at you, and of course, you still have room to grow, but people say you're a day one starter. Your body's developed, you're ready to go and contribute. If that's starting off the bench, you're going to be playing day one come your season when it starts out there. How do you look for people to go out there, and how excited are people to get in that court and start playing with them?
Um, I'm super excited. It's a bigger court, and I feel as though one on one, I can get past any defender. So with the court spaced out, also rely a lot on my vision. I like to find open teammates. So I just think my game is just gonna elevate even more at the college level. Get after it on defense. That's the main thing. And just with the pieces we're gonna have, just be prepared to win. And that's all.
I think it's a great fit for you. The one thing I think some people might look at is your guard. 2021, they really loaded up at that position with Jordan Rasul. How do you plan to fit into them, and how do you guys kind of plan to get that chemistry and work together where it's going to be kind of a stockpile of elite guards out there?
Right. I played with Rasul a couple times on final, and in other events. And, he's just a great overall point guard, true point guard who looks to get his teammates easy shots, and he could obviously create for himself too. It's just a crafty guard. So I think we'll gel together, Weiss, well. And with Jordan, I never played with him before or anything like that, but I think as time goes on, we'll be able to gel real good. And, you know, if everybody's on the same page of winning, then it's just going to be good for us.
End of the day, we know that UConn's known for one thing historically, and that's the guard play. There's just a long list of NBA guards, legendary college guards play from there. So now you're going to be a part of that history now. You have a chance to put your name up there with some of the Kemba Walkers, the Shabazz Napiers, those kind of guys. How excited does that make you to see that?
Um, those are obviously big shoes to fill, but I'm ready to I'm ready to fill those shoes. Obviously I have 2 more years of high school left, but I'm just going to use these 2 years to prepare myself as much as possible. Get ready for that level and just be ready to go and ready to attack from day one.
You did mention in the beginning that originally UConn wasn't that appealing to you. They grew over time, clearly where you're now heading, but was it part of the reason was it because they went to the Big East, going to a bigger conference, that make them really more appealing to you, or would you possibly not even see yourself go there if they would have remained in the other conference?
Just by the way they recruited me, they still definitely would have been in the conversation, but the move to the Big East was definitely one of the big things that jumped out to me. It's a great conference. Some of the best guards come from there, and I'm just looking to be one of the next.
You now take on this role where you're the face of this recruiting class, first guy there, a high commit, 40th all-time ranked recruit, and people are going to be attracted to playing with you. We know there's a lot of team final guys, some like Justice and others. Who else do you want to bring with you? Who else do you want to recruit to UConn with you?
Um, I think we're going to be pretty stacked at the guard play. We'll obviously need more guards in my class, but one of the main players that I'm going to try to recruit is Donovan Clingan. He's just a great big. I've been watching him play, seen him play a couple times, and that would be a great pickup for us. So yeah.
When it does get more serious with a guy like him or whoever else might come into that picture, what's your pitch to them? They're deciding between UConn, whoever else in that final group. Why is UConn where they should be heading?
Because UConn is just a place where we're going to win. I think when my class comes in, we're going to have a really good shot at winning a national championship. And who doesn't want to win a national championship? So that's it.
This core they have built right now is special, especially because of the eligibility rule. We know that this year's freshmen, Adama, Andre, and company, they're still going to be freshmen next year. We talked about the 20-1 guys. You say Donovan does go. What can that core group get done together?
Um, a lot. On paper, that team, I don't see it losing, but things go up and down. But the only thing that matters is when the time comes around in March, and that's what we're going to be focused on. And like I said, just getting the wins.
You mentioned Coach Hurley, Coach Young. All these guys are incredible coaches. But personally with Coach Hurley, what's he like off the court? What's your guys' personal bond like when you guys talk about things other than basketball?
Yeah, he's just a cool guy, down to earth guy. He's just easy to talk to. Throwing jokes in here and there, and my family loves him. He loves us, so I mean, we can't really ask for much more than that.
Absolutely, man. Well, let's head into the season. We talked about it a little earlier, but this is a whole new look team. We guys lost a lot of big pieces to go to college. Cliff, CJ Niles, a lot of pieces. Now it's really going to be a show of you, Simeon, a couple other guys come in. What can we expect to watch from you guys?
We're just gonna, be a run and go team. We're obviously smaller than past previous years. So by that, we have to really get after it on defense more. We don't have Cliff down there to block shots for us. So, we got to emphasize boxing out and grabbing rebounds with two hands. But I think we're going to run a lot of teams out of the gym. And, just once we get our plays down to perfection, then we're going to be hard to stop.
A moment from last year I want to ask you about is kind of went viral was Cliff. We know that you guys brought his family out there for a surprise on senior day. Take us to that. Were you guys aware of that happening? When did you guys find out? Just take us through that whole setup.
Yeah, I don't think any of us knew really. Maybe only the coaches. Cliff obviously definitely didn't know, but we just saw him run over there. I wasn't even sure who it was, but after we found out, and that was just obviously a special moment for him. So our whole team was happy for him then, and it was just a great moment overall.
I think you guys were one of the best teams. If COVID obviously wasn't a factor, you guys could have kept going further and further. And you look at all the talent on that team, especially the potential of you, Simeon, and others. When you just look at those practices, though, you're going up against a guy like CJ, Niles, Cliff, all of them. What are those environments like?
Um, some days were tough having to guard those guys, but I think in the long run, it's just made me better. Playing upperclassmen, even going back to my freshman year, having to guard guys like Josh Pierre-Louis and Khalil Whitney and Kobe Rogers, it just brought that dog out of me because, you don't want to constantly be in practice every day, letting guys score on you and talk, talk their stuff. And, so you just really got to step up and just show what you're about so people don't walk over you.
When you made that move as a freshman, it's a move that I respect in a lot of guys when you guys don't necessarily go to a program where you guys can go dominate year one. You kind of take a role where you're going to learn, you're going to develop. It might not just become starter at first. Why was that the mindset you chose, and why did you choose to take that route?
Um, I just felt it was the best decision for me, to develop more as a freshman. Like you said, I could have went to a school where I would just dominate, but taking the backseat role, I got to experience a lot of things from the sideline and, just take notes and become more of a student of the game and, just learning from other guys who are out there on the court who have obviously been through it before me, taking advice and, just taking it all in. It just made me a better overall player. And, you know, I didn't get a lot of minutes freshman year as much as I would like, but in the end, it helped me and it just made me a better player and better person. So I think my coach bought for that.
And that's one reason I'm not a big fan of rankings because they don't always like putting in the factor that you guys are playing with other stars. They like to just look at stats a lot of time. That's why you're ranked, I believe, somewhere in the 80s, 90s, even maybe 100, something like that. Point is
Right.
way too low for you. This is your breakout year. It's finally your time. You're the face of the team, the star of the team. How special do you think you can go? And when you look at other players in 2022, where would you personally rank yourself?
Um, Personally, like you said, rankings don't really matter. They never really mattered to me or my family, because at the end of the day, we all know the work that I put in, and especially me, I know the work I put in. So when I see, a couple names above me, I'm like, well, I played him, and like none of them were better than me. So I don't really, get into all of that. But like you said, this year is a breakout year for me. So if I do happen to jump in the rankings, I'll just have the same mindset because this is who I've been the whole time. And I think this year people are going to take notice. So yeah.
And was around 11 points a game last year in that small role. With this expanded role, where do you see yourself averaging?
Um, I would at least say like 20 a game at least. Um, I feel with my size, especially at this high school level, I get to the foul line a lot, get easy buckets in the post. Something I've been working on a lot, post moves. And, just with the team that we have a lot of unselfish guards. So they'll give me open shots and I'll get them open shots and we'll all just have high average in numbers.
And the duo together, I'm really excited to see is you and Simeon. Simeon's now a top 10 ranked guy. We know he's a superstar in his class. How
Right.
special is this duo between you two?
Oh, it's real special. We get along off the court as well as on. It's not one of those things that, they're the dynamic duo on the court, but off the court they hate each other.
Mhm.
That's really my boy. So, I'll be looking for him. He'll be looking for me. And if he's having an off game, I'll be there to pick him up. And if I'm having an off game, he'll be there to pick me up. So it's always nice to have somebody like that on your team.
Now, you do play New Jersey, and that is one of, if not the best areas of basketball. You guys are loaded. Many NBA players are there, many college stars, top high school players are out there. What's it like being a part of that history and just playing out there?
Um, I'm just blessed to be from Jersey. Grow up in this basketball community. That was one of the main things when a lot of schools recruited me. They were telling me they loved the Jersey game. They could see it in me when they play, just that dog, that grit. And, you know, it's just something that you're kind of born with. It's not something that you could really, develop. If you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. And, I'm just happy that I have it and take advantage of it.
When you go to another state for AAU, traveling for high school, when it comes time for college, what is that pride you carry with you? What does it kind of mean to represent New Jersey basketball?
Yeah, it's definitely, a big ego for Jersey basketball. Playing with final, a lot of Philly kids, they're right next to us, so they have the same mindset. When we play teams that's more from the West Coast, we automatically think they're soft, and you know that's just something that we have in our heads, and our coaches preach the same thing. So it's just more fuel to the fire, and we go out there and prove it.
Everyone knows that little like corner area right there. You got New York, New Jersey, you got Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, all that right there. That's an area of dogs. All you guys have dogs, different mentality, a little bit different, but you guys all have that dog mentality. So
Right.
how would you compare you guys? How would you rank each other up when you're talking about New York, Philly, and New Jersey?
Well, obviously I'm gonna put Jersey on top.
Hmm.
Um, I would have to. I'm not sure. New York and Philly, they both got great players that come from there, and a lot of Jersey kids, uh, claim both Jersey and New York. Not much of Philly, but Philly has dogs out there too. I play with a lot of them on team final, of course, and you know, we're all just after it, and like you said, we're all just dogs. So we're all striving to be the best we could possibly be, and just looking to go out there and kill every time.
Besides those states, is there another area in the country that you like playing against or you see that dog mentality comes from there?
Um, I would probably say Georgia.
Hmm.
I see a lot of dogs come out of Georgia, and but I'd say that's about it.
No doubt. Now, I know you've also grown up in a family of basketball. Your dad actually played at Providence for a couple of years after coming out of JUCO. What was it like
Right,
just growing up in that basketball atmosphere, that basketball family?
right. I've just been playing basketball since I can remember. Um, I got baby pictures. I can't even remember where I'm holding the basketball. And it was just honestly a blessing to have a father like the one I have, because he's played the game, he's been at the college level, the D1 level, so he can give me the advice, and it's not just coming from the man on the corner. It's coming from someone who's actually experienced it.
Mhm.
So sometimes, of course, him being my dad, I try to block it out. I don't want to hear it, but at the end of the day, I know he's just trying to tell me what's best for me, and I appreciate that.
And recruiting has changed drastically from the time he was going through his process today, especially with COVID and all. But what was his advice he gave to you during that process? How did he kind of advise you?
Um, he just told me that, when you feel that the school is the right school, you'll know. Obviously, I didn't have the chance to get on campus, and he told me that that was a big part of it. Walking on campus, is just something that you take in and something that you love. But, through these Zooms, many schools gave me a great look and a great experience of what campus life would be like. And, I'm just thankful for all the schools that recruited me. And, you know, I'm, I'm just glad to be making this decision, and then I'm excited for it.
How appealing was the potential of following your dad's footsteps and going to his alma mater?
That would have been something real big for me,
Hmm.
to emphasize the Floyd name over there. Um, like I said, playing for Coach Cooley would have been great as well. Um, you know, just being able to live up, behind him, it would be something special. But obviously, other plans happen. So yeah.
Some kids that have dads that have played in the professional league or playing college say that sometimes they support you, but if you play their old school, they might not be going for them. Who is your dad gonna be going for when that matchup might happen?
Um, I'm pretty sure he'll tell me that he's rooting for Providence, but I know deep down going for UConn.
Absolutely, man. Well, a few more things before I let you go. One of which is you have a couple things in your Instagram bio. One is ET. Take us through that.
ET, it means extraterrestrial.
Mhm.
Um, like the movie E.T., he was an alien. He was different. So, you know, that's basically what it's for, is just being different. And, without actually saying I'm different, as most people do. It was just something I thought of one day and just threw it in there.
Without a doubt, man. One thing I was like wrapping up with is building a legacy, and you're one step closer to that now. You've got your decision. Know you're going to college now. So, what do you
Right.
want your legacy to be for what you achieve at UConn, both on and off the court there?
I'm just looking, to be in the conversation with one of the great guards to come out of UConn, like the many they have produced in the past. Uh, I'm just off the court looking to be an overall good student and person. Somebody that when regular students talk about me, they just think of me as a regular kid, which I am, and just somebody who's not all about basketball. Of course, basketball is my love, but I'm capable of other things in life too, and just somebody who has just great IQ on and off the court, and someone who's looking to get their education.
Absolutely. My last thing I want to touch up on then is faith. Discuss how God's kind of helped get you to the point you're at today.
Yeah, of course, I wouldn't be here if it weren't for God, so I thank him every day. Um, you know, my mom has gotten really close with God lately, and she's a couple of that, like some of that has rubbed off on me, and I just make sure to thank him for all my blessings. Of course, I'm blessed. I have things that many people in this world don't have, so it would be ungrateful for me not to thank him every single day, and you know, just I just hope that if this is the path that he wants me to be on, then I take it as far as possible, and just try to be the best that I could possibly be.
Amen. And my final two questions for you are the first one, give UConn fans the one player that you kind of are similar to, whether it be a former UConn player or even just an NBA player in general.
Um, well, I'm gonna go with the star right now, James Booknight.
Hmm.
Yeah. James, being from New York, once again, he got that dog in him. He could knock down shots from the outside, and he has a really good drive game. Um, he's obviously taken a bigger role this year as a sophomore. He's put the nation on notice, and I just feel like I can come in and do the same thing he's doing. So yeah.
And the second one and final one, give UConn fans your three biggest goals you have set for your UConn career.
Three biggest goals. One, of course, would have to be a national championship.
Hmm.
Two would be under that the Big East, championship, and three, uh, let's just say we'll go undefeated.
Absolutely, man. Congratulations once again and happy birthday. And I appreciate you taking time to come on today.
All right, thank you, appreciate it.
Of course, you always welcome on, man. God bless.
All right.